What's going on, YouTube fam? This is your boy J Money here, and it feels so good to be back to the grindstone making videos. I got, a lot of video ideas coming for the next few weeks. Content is gonna be great. So, anyway, here we are. We're going to really brush up on something that hasn't been brushed up on, which you guys probably noticed a nice little trend of things I like to do. I like to go on the internet and I like to look at what everybody's talking about and maybe kind of dress, and brush up on what people are not talking about. And this is going to revolve around Duel Overload. A lot of people are excited. They're excited about a lot of the good reprints like Phantasmes and Impermanence once again. May or may not get short printed again. Who knows? We're excited about a lot of the new cards. We're excited for cards like Needle Fiber, Union Character, Celine, for decks like Spiral and Pendulum, and things like that. We're excited for things like Y-Strix for you Raid Raptor players waiting for a Master Rule 5. And, just other things like that. So, but what we don't really talk about, or what I haven't really heard being addressed very much is, cards that missed Duel Overload. And I'm not really talking about reprints or cards that are already here. I'm talking about new cards that are, I guess, still OCG exclusive or have been in the form of V-Jumps and stuff that haven't really hit something like Duel Overload, because, again, there's not really too much opportunity for us to get V-Jumps and stuff like that. So, in this video, I'm going to go over top 5 cards, top 5 OCG cards that missed Duel Overload. So with that being said, let's get started. Alright, starting with number 5, guys, we have Altergeist Pukri. So, I'm pretty sure that is not getting a release in Eternity Code, so I do believe that is a V-Jump if my memory serves me correctly. Altergeist Pukri is essentially an excellent piece of Altergeist support that enables you to turn 1 Hexia very easily, because if you're going to use an Altergeist for the Link Summon, or if you're going to use an Altergeist on the field for a Link Summon, you can also use the Pukri in hand as a material as well. So if you normal summon Miluzik, and you had Pukri in your hand, you could use Pukri in your hand and Miluzik for Hexia, search your Multi-Faker, and that's pretty good. And also Pukri has an effect to where if it's in the graveyard and you did Link Summon a Altergeist monster, you can add it back from grave to hand, but that is a once per duel effect. All you need to do really is resolve the effect twice. I don't really think you need to resolve it more than twice. Nonetheless, that's a great piece of Altergeist support. I'm not a big fan of Altergeist, for those of you who know what kind of person I am, but I know it is definitely one pretty decent card that did miss Duel Overload, so that is something worth noting. Alright, number 4, guys. It's one of my personal favorites, Trickstar Fairs. Light Stage is still limited for some odd reason, and so I figured I did want to make a video before Duel Overload regarding a wish list of what I wanted to see in Duel Overload, but the set got spoiled, so, no longer need to make a video like that. And Trickstar Fairs was one of my cards that I wanted to be in that set. That was definitely part of my wish list, because summoning 2 Trickstar tokens is nice. Now, granted, you're locked into Trickstars, but if any of you guys have seen my Trickstar deck, that's all I play is Trickstars. And that's all you need to play. It makes it to where you're not dependent on chain summoning, you're not dependent on, other things to tie in a full combo, since you can burn your opponent for quite a bit with just 2 tokens and, let's say, a Candina and a Lycoris. You got the Ties of the Brethren still for your Barrier Statue and your Honest, just in case, you don't even see any of those, you still have things to fall back on. Trickstar Fairs is just a nice card, and then it can protect your Trickstar monsters from battle and card effect destruction, just destruction in general, just by banishing them from the graveyard. Really, really nice card, but it is a shame we did not get it in the set, so God knows when we're getting it, along with the Altergeist Pukri. Alright, number 3, guys. And we should have had this years ago, but Odd Eyes Revolution Dragon. Where is this card? When are we going to get it? I don't know. It's very, very it's a very good card. Most of us would use it for the effect of discarding it and paying 500 life points to add a Dragon Pendulum monster from our deck to our hand. You know, Dark Worm and the former YCS prize card, the Retrain Chaos Emperor, those two cards were typically the most commonly to search cards. Now, it did have other effects. You could also, I think it was pay half your life points to shuffle all cards on both players' fields and graveyards into the decks, so you could essentially just reset the duel, and that was pretty nice. It is a level 11, so to summon it was pretty kind of steep. It was like you either had to pendulum summon it from the hand, which means you needed a scale 12, or I believe you had to tribute 3 dragons, which is also pretty steep. So unless you're playing Morphages, it wasn't going to happen. But you know, nonetheless, I mean, I guess just even now, just without Electromite, I feel like Dark Worm has seen a rapid decline in terms of playability for a lot of Pendulum lists. I still play Dark Worm in my build because there's other things in the other builds that I do not own. And Dark Worm and Garden Dragon combo is still very much there. You know, Electromite really was very useful just for tying in other things that you didn't have, because you almost never needed to Electromite for Dark Worm because you almost always had access to it in the forms of things like Dragon Shrine or Foolish Burial or Ravine. And yeah, so that was still really consistent, but nonetheless, Odd Eyes Revolution Dragon, you know, very, very big missed opportunity there for Duel Overload. All right, number 2, guys, and this may come as a shock for you guys because you guys probably would think this is number 1, but I'm going to put Dragoon of Redeyes as my number 2 pick for a great opportunity that was missed in Duel Overload. You know, everybody is just so psyched about Predator Plant Verite Anaconda when really its power, you know, half of its power does lie in its ability to summon Dragoon of Redeyes. So without Dragoon of Redeyes, Predator Plant Verite Anaconda isn't really all that powerful. I mean, it's still good, don't get me wrong, because sending Super Poly, you know, it's okay. Sending, I mean, in the Shaddoll deck, it will definitely see play because the whole deck is fusion based. There's a lot of fusion cards, but you know, Verite Anaconda can be responded to. So even though you can send Super Poly to the graveyard, the thing about Super Poly is you can't respond to Super Poly, but you can respond to Verite. So that might just get negated a lot. So I don't know, but anyway, Dragoon of Redeyes would have made Verite Anaconda just a much more valuable pull. Now, granted, people are still going to hold on to their Verite Anacondas, but I don't know when we're going to get this card. You know, I feel like this would have been the set to get it. But who knows? Let's cross our fingers and hope and pray that it doesn't take us too long to get this card, or, you know, by the time we do get this card, cards are, you know, just, you know, that it's not just completely irrelevant by the time we get it, you know, because that happens a lot too. So that's what number 1, guys, number 1. And you guys may have already figured this out already, but Out Designator should have been in this thing, man. Like, Out Designator is, yeah, Dragoon of Redeyes is great. You know, it's a great card. It's generic and all that. You can splash it. It's really abusable in stun decks and all that. But let's be honest, Out Designator is really where it's at. Out Designator is that card, man. It's that card that anything you're having a problem with, you know, it can not even be just generic cards. It could be things like, oh, you can't banish extra deck cards, but, you know, just Out Designator, just anything you have a problem with regarding the deck, you know, depending on the deck you're playing, you can tech that card in your deck, Out Designator that hoe, and take care of it. You know, we need more ways to stop Nibiru in Dark Ruler No More, you know, because contrary to belief, not every deck like Lunalight can just play around Nibiru, and some decks like Lunalight lose to cards like Dark Ruler No More. Out Designator gives you another out to, you know, things like that. It makes it so where you don't have to sit here and change like a quarter of your deck just to not lose to one card. You know, because as I said a while ago regarding Blue Lights, they lose to a lot of spells and traps. You know, because you have a lot of, you know, cards that interact with monsters, but you have very few, if any at all, cards that interact with spells and traps. Anyway, that's my number one pick, guys. Cross Out Designator. You know, just, you know, the fact that we still don't have, like, just generic outs to cards like Nibiru, generic outs to Impermanence, generic outs to Dark Ruler no more, if you're playing combo. It's just, you know, it would just be a natural fit. I feel like Cross Out Designator in Duel Overload would have really made sense, but it missed it. So, who knows when we're going to get it? Could it possibly be in, what, the Eternity Code? Probably. I hope it does. I hope we get it at some point. You know, get it sometime soon, but who knows? But, you know, that's V-Jump for you guys, man. So, hey, what do you guys think about this top 5 list? I want to know you guys' thoughts down in the comments below. You know, if there's any pretty decent card, you know, that I probably had missed regarding V-Jumps, the cards that missed, you know, the Duel Overload. I'm talking about, you know, OCT cards. I mean, cards we don't already have, so this is excluding cards like Extravagance and stuff, but, you know, any new card that we may have missed in Duel Overload that I missed over, let me know in the comments, and, yeah. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. This is J Money, and I am signing out.